Hi, how are you? Welcome to our new video of Cambridge IELTS Reading Book 6 Reading Test 1 Passage 2. Today we are going to solve the true, false and not given statements. Remember, if any statement that agrees with the information given in the reading passage, then it is true. If any statement that disagrees with the given information in the reading passage, then it is false. And if there is no information found in the reading passage related to the statement, then it is not given. So let's go to the papers and try to find the answers of question number 18 to 22 from the IELTS book 6 reading test 1 passage 2. Let's start. Question number 18. International trade is increasing at a greater rate than the world economy. So first of all, we have to find the main words of this question. So international trade is the main word. The world economy is also main word. We have to keep in mind the increasing at a greater rate. So it means that the international trade is growing rather than the world economy. The similar meaning of word increasing are expanding or growing, and the opposite meaning of increasing, the opposite meaning is decreasing. So we have to keep in mind the similar meanings and the opposite meanings of the words in this part of the test. So let's find the answer of this question. International trade. The word is given in the paragraph A, and we also read here the word international trade. So let's start. International trade is growing at a startling pace. Growing means increasing at a startling pace. Startling pace means that it is increasing with remarkable speed. So international trade is growing at a startling pace. While means whereas. The global economy has been expanding at a bit over 3% a year. So it means that the global economy is increasing slightly more than 3% a year. A bit over, means slightly more. So international trade is growing at a startling pace while the global economy has been expanding at a bit over 3% a year. The volume of trade, the total volume of trade has been rising at a compound annual rate of about twice that. That means global economy. So from this sentence, we can say that the volume of the trade is increasing almost 2 times than the global economy. So the answer of the question number 18 is true. So we can write here our next question is cheap labor guarantees effective trade conditions. Cheap labor is the main word and effective trade conditions are the main word. So the question number 19 means that if any country hires cheap labor, this will be beneficial for the trade conditions. So let's try to find the answer of this question. And first of all, we have to find the cheap labor, the word cheap labor. Cheap labor. Here we have found the word cheap labor. Cheap labor may make Chinese clothing competitive in America. It means that if China has cheap labor, then China can become a strong competitor in the field of clothing in America. But is the main word. But if delays in shipment tie up working capital and causes winter coats to arrive in spring, trade may lose its advantages. Trade may lose its advantages. It means that if there a problem occurs in the field of transportation, then the cheap labor will not become so suitable for the trade conditions. So the answer of this question is false. It means that cheap labor does not guarantee the suitable trade conditions. Other factors are involved for effective trade conditions. If there is any delay in transportation, that may damage the trade. Our next question is, Japan imports more meat and steel than France. So Japan is the main word, France is the main word, and what Japan imports? Meat and steel. So from this question we can say that Japan imports more meat and steel as compared to France. So first of all, we have to find the word Japan, France, Japan and France. Here is the word Germany, Italy, France, America, Britain, and Japan. And we Also, we also need to find the words meat and steel. So meat is here and word steel is also here. Let's read this paragraph. At the turn of 20th century, agriculture and manufacturing were the two most important sectors almost everywhere, accounting for about 70% of total output in Germany, Italy, and France, and 40 to 50% in America, Britain, and Japan. International commerce was therefore dominated by raw materials such as wheat, wood, and iron ore, or processed commodities such as meat and steel. So after reading this paragraph, we couldn't find any comparison between Japan and France in the field of the trade of meat and steel. So the answer of this question is not given. Our next question is, most countries continue to prefer to trade with nearby nations. So most countries is the main word. Nearby nations is also the main word. And we have to keep in mind prefer to trade. It means that nowadays most of the countries try to make the trade relations with their neighboring countries. Countries still trade disproportionately with their geographic neighbors. So here is the word countries is written, and we have found the word countries in the first line of paragraph D. So countries still trade disproportionately with the geographic neighbors. Geographic neighbors means neighboring countries. Disproportionately means without any discrimination. Countries still trade disproportionately with their geographic neighbors. It means that nowadays countries try to make the trade relations with their neighboring countries without any discrimination. So the answer of the question number 21 is true. Our next and last question, question number 22. Small computer components are manufactured in Germany. Small computer components manufactured, and the name of country is Germany. To see how this influences trade, consider the business of making disk drives. Business of making disk drives means small computer components for computers. Most of the world disk drive manufacturing is concentrated in Southeast Asia. It means that most of the disk drives are made or manufactured in Southeast Asia, and Southeast Asia is the name of a continent, not a country. So the answer of the question number 22 is not given.